There's a comment that's somewhat common on the page when people talk about weed and feed. They often shoot down it's a bad idea, or someone put up a post saying, I put down weed and feed and I didn't get very good results. I was in my shed today and look what I found. Basically weed and feed. It's the same thing, same concept. So why does this stuff, why do we shoot it down? Why doesn't it work so well as the more professional stuff? Now the first thought that people usually have is that, well, it must be the active ingredients, it must be the way that it works. This is true for granule weed and feed, but I'll show you on here. The reality is, if you look really closely, you can see the active ingredients are bromoxynil and MCPA. You see, the reason why it's interesting is that they're the exact same active ingredients in Bindi or Surefire Buffalo or a whole host of other products that people on this page are highly recommending, and that quite frankly they work well. So what's the difference between this guy and Bindi if they've got exactly the same active ingredient? The main difference between the two is the application method. Over here you have the hose and the water runs through this way. There's a little straw that goes into the tank if you've never used one of these, and it sucks up the product that goes out with the hose. Then the question you might ask them is exactly how much product am I putting down? Well, you don't know. The next question you might ask is how long should I be watering on it? I don't know. How much do I have left? Well, I don't know. You can't really tell. You can sort of see it at the bottom there a little bit, but you can't really see it. Is it here? Is it here? Especially if you're watering at the end, or you're applying at the end of the day when you come home from work. So even though the active ingredients are the same, the way you apply it is completely inconsistent, and that's why you get really inconsistent results. In contrast, when using a sprayer like this, you know exactly how much product you put in. You can see exactly how much water you have in the tank. There's litre markings all over this, and there are many other products as well. You don't have to get this type of tank. I'll talk about that in a minute. You know exactly how much you put in. You can measure how many square meters you've got, and so you can calibrate your machine, and you can get a nozzle to suit the type of application that you want. This is a cone nozzle. When it gets in focus, you can get a fan nozzle, you can get a boom, you can switch it up. This is a much more consistent way of applying the product. That's why you get much better results. Another problem that you will get with these hose-on stuff is that sometimes you can finish applying the product and you don't know that you've finished when you have a hose-on pack, and you're actually washing off the product that you've just put down. Another thing is you can get splashing if you're jetting it out too fast. This is a much more controlled, much more reliable way of applying it, whether or not you've got an expensive sprayer or a cheap sprayer. So my recommendation would be to find yourself something like this. They're not very expensive, 25, 30 bucks or something like that. You can get something more expensive if it suits your needs, but you don't have to break your bank. Just simply find something that's going to give you an even application so that you can get good coverage of your weeds, know exactly how much you're putting on, and please people, read the label.